What's up, everybody? My name is Kason. Welcome back to the PPL. This is Season 5, and this is the official start to the playoffs. It's the Octo Finals, because there are 16 teams in the playoffs. And now if you're thinking, 16, how is that possible? I thought you had to be top 8 to make it. That is because there are two different divisions. There's the Violet Division and the Scarlet Division. So your boy made it as the 6th seed in the Violet Division. Top 8 from each made it. And normally that would mean that you're facing the 3 seed in the playoffs, but that's actually not how it works. So essentially what we did is the commissioner, Gravy, aka Amber, set it up so that the 1st seed or best overall team amongst the two divisions who made it could pick basically anybody that wasn't the other 1st seed. You had to pick somebody from the other division, but like you could technically pick the 2 seed if you were the 1 seed. You could pick the 3 seed, something like that. Long story short, or maybe it's because we've won 5 games in a row, but nobody really wanted to play us. So our opponent didn't pick us, and we didn't pick our opponent. These were basically the last 2 teams remaining. Now, this is good and bad, because this means that, yeah, we're scary. We've been beating a lot of people. 5 wins in a row makes nobody want to play us. The problem is, I think the reason that we ended up against this other team is because nobody wanted to play them either. This is Amber, aka Gravy, an absolutely phenomenal player. Full disclosure, they are 2-0 against us all time, so I'm hoping that the 3rd time is the charm, as I have lost to Amber twice already. They are the 6th seed of Scarlet, we're the 6th seed of Violet, so even records, both 5 and 4, we're +9, they're +5. Their team is terrifying, though. They have a Terra Superior, a Latias, Monkey Dory, Zapdos, Volcarona, Great Tusk, Basculin Legion, only the male version, Florges, Orthworm, Ursaring, Terra King Gambit, and Terra Larvitar. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Terra Larvitar, absolute menace. Realistically, Terra King Gambit, oh dear god, I do not want to play against this thing. It's hard enough to prep for a regular King Gambit, but when it's a Terra Captain, it's just so hard to deal with. It loses that 4 times weakness, which is kind of the one thing that you can normally counter it with pretty easily. So the fact that it's so tanky, it normally lives like 2 hits pretty much every time, and it can just absolutely obliterate everybody late game with its Supreme Overlord ability. Every single Pokemon on their team that dies basically boosts how much damage it's going to do. So it's a monster, and not to mention a ton of other threats on the team. We've got our work cut out for us today. But since this is the playoffs, we are going to bring our A game. We are really going to try and pick up a win here. Playoffs kind of started for us in week 5 though, so hopefully that means that we're warmed up and ready to go. And to start off, I am going with Walking Wake, our Terra Captain for this week, with the Terra Electric. Now, basically, we are a Terra Electric for a couple of different reasons. Number one, this allows us a pretty safe switch into the Zapdos, especially if it is a physically defensive Zapdos. This thing basically can't touch us at all. We're running the Assault Vest item with Draco Meteor, Scald, Flamethrower, and Flip Turn. We've got a good bit of speed investment, max special attack, and a little bit of HP. Again, the Assault Vest is just making it so that we can switch into Zapdos more easily. Our speed tier in this game is really, really nice. The only things that are going to outspeed us, aside from Scarf Pokemon, are the Latias, which we're losing our Dragon typing, so it can't one-shot us, and we can one-shot them back, or at least very close with the Draco Meteor. And the Superior. And the main thing with Superior is I just don't want to get glared. Glare can paralyze even the ground types, which is really, really OP, but it can't paralyze an electric type. So that is one of the other reasons that I'm running this Terra type this week. Flip Turn here is essentially to get momentum on the Florges, as I do expect Florges to come. I think that could be one of the Pokemon that can check this Pokemon pretty effectively. Scald is overall just good into the team, can always proc a burn on something. I do think the Basculin Legion could also be an answer to this thing, maybe with an Assault Vest or something like that. We'll kind of just have to deal with it and see how it goes. Pokemon number 2 is a defensive pivot for us this week, and very similar to last week when we went up against OG Albino who had the Latios. This week with Latias, we are hoping that this can be the pivot into that Pokemon. Flip Turn, Aqua Jet, Alluring Voice, Miracle with a bunch of Spadef, a bunch of defense, and a little bit of HP. This set we have run a couple times this season already. It's worked very well. I'm hoping that it can work again this week. 3rd Pokemon up to bat is our kill leader for this season with 12 kills, our Weavile, with protective pads. And now I'm hoping this isn't a jinx, because we are 5-0 rocking heavy duty boots Weavile. Weavile legitimately hasn't taken damage since week 4, but I have to bring protective pads this week. I'm just gonna really be mad at myself if I lose this game by getting staticked by the Zapdos or by getting Flame Body Burn from Volcarona. Amber has multiple Pokemon that can very much switch into the Weavile and just by 30% chance basically cripple it for the rest of the game. So with protective pads, that means that we can't get staticked, we can't lose to Flame Body. Basically the RNG aspect won't make a Weavile just completely useless. Knockoff Triple Axle is really good into the entire entire roster except for the King Gambit, and for that we do have Brick Break. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm ever going to click Brick Break. I thought about bringing Ice Shard just because I expect King Gambit to Terra, but for some reason, if Amber decides that Superior is the better Terra option this week, Brick Break will be there. If I Swords Dance, I can one-shot that thing, and that's essentially why I have it. Again, Swords Dance is here just because I do think there are some Pokemon that I could potentially get a Swords Dance up on, and hopefully this Weavile can go crazy. Next, we're bringing Rotom Fan. I bet you guys didn't even realize that I had a Rotom Fan. I've never brought this Pokemon all season long, but genuinely, I think it looks pretty decent in this matchup. One of the Pokemon that I expect to show up this week is the Terra Superior. Again, I don't think it will Terra, but honestly, it's pretty good into my Great Tusk. It's pretty good into my Alomomola. It's not that bad into Walking Wake either. I just genuinely think that it is a Pokemon that could show up this week. And the fact that I haven't brought Rotom Fan yet this season, I just genuinely think that Amber could bring it. It could either be like a Scarf or Spec set, or maybe something like with Leech Seed substitute just to be really annoying. Rotom Fan is one of the only Pokemon that I have that can just switch into it freely, because the combination of Leaf Storm and Glare is just really threatening for my team. However, Rotom Fan with a bunch of special defense investment reduces the damage from the Leaf Storm coming in, and again can't get paralyzed by that Glare. So even though I could switch in my Terra Electric Walking Wake to not get glared, if they Leaf Storm and now get to +2, I'm in a spot that I really don't want to be in. If it's a +2 Dragon Pulse, or even just a +2 Leaf Storm, or maybe some sort of Terra type, it's not something that I can handle. So Rotom Fan honestly felt like a must this week, especially paired with the fact that I can Volt Switch on anything not named Great Tusk, and for that I have Will-O-Wisp. If I can burn that Pokemon, it becomes nowhere near as strong as it normally would be. It also gives me a ground immunity, which I only have a couple of on my team, so bringing Rotom Fan this week I thought was really necessary. We do run the Terra Fairy this week. I don't expect to Terra this Pokemon, but at least running Terra Fairy might just scare Amber into not clicking certain moves, knowing that I can go for that. Pokemon number 5 is Ogerpon Hearthflame, who has been a massive part of our win streak here. Ivy Cudgel, Hornleech, Spiky Shield, and Encore. Now, the only downside to this set is I really don't have anything to threaten the Latias, but I have a set that I really think is necessary because Terra King Gambit is just so strong. I have to put so much into prep just for that one Pokemon. And for that, basically my thought process is if I make it to the end game against a Terra King Gambit and Ogerpon is still alive, I will likely win the game. If I make it to the end game against Terra King Gambit and Ogerpon's not alive, I will likely lose the game. Spiky Shield is there basically to just take a hit or basically scout whatever they want to go for on King Gambit, and Encore is there to just lock them into whatever move they go for. So if they go for Swords Dance or Sucker Punch, I can basically Encore them into it, PP stall them on Sucker Punch, or if it's Swords Dance, I can just Encore and then attack and then re-Encore them again. So I think you kind of understand where I'm going with this set. It also is a decent pivot into something like the Florges, which again, I really do expect to come this week. I could also see something like Volcarona or Orthworm coming, and this is a decent Pokemon into those as well. And last but not least is our Pheasantipity. And now I thought about bringing Great Tusk this week, and if I didn't make this clear, because there are two different divisions, there can be mirror matches with Pokemon. They have a Great Tusk, we have a Great Tusk. I'm not bringing my own Tusk. I would have loved to for the mirror match, but look at their team, man. A Great Tusk is just not good into them. It's bad in, like, Superior threatens it, Latias threatens it, Monkey Dory, Zapdos, Volcarona, they all just threaten it so much. It's either Volcarona with Burns and Flame Body, or the 4 that are all faster than Great Tusk with special attacks that hit super effectively. And then past that, it's like, if it's a Scarf, Vascular Legion, or just another Great Tusk, my own Tusk just can't really come this week. So it was between something like Pheasantipity and Dragonite, and ultimately I decided, you know what, in my 5-game win streak, Pheasantipity has been such a huge piece of that. If I'm going to go down this week, I'm going to go down swinging with a Pokemon that has been reliable for me for the last 5 weeks. So guys, this is the team that we are bringing into Amber. Again, they have had my number in the first 2 times that I've played them, but I'm hoping that the 3rd time is the charm, that we can get a win on the board, and we'll see what happens. So we started out 0-4. 9-4 means we are the champions. Anything short of that is just a fun story, but we'll have to see what happens, guys. Best of luck to Amber. Hopefully we can pick it up. Let's jump into it. Playing here is going to be a little rough, I'm not going to lie. I threw my neck out today, like my upper back neck, and so like turning is kind of rough, but we're going to deal with it. Hopefully we can get a tub here. It is Terra Fairy King Gambit, so they don't have Superior, which honestly I don't love. They have an Ursaring. I did not expect that. There's no Florges, no Orthworm, no Volk. I'm going to lead my Terra Walking Wake here, just because I think I want to try and get my Terra up for the Zapdos. As I just need to basically keep Aloe healthy for the Basque. So But as long as they're not doing something weird like a Swift Swim Basculegion, I think I'm okay to just lead Wake and get my Terra up. Yeah, Ursaring is weird. I'm not entirely sure why they brought that. Not sure what the thought is. I could always knock it off, like if it's Eviolite with Weavile. My Aloe can get momentum on it. I'm not sure I understand that one, but I'm pretty happy with it, honestly. All right. I think we lead okay into pretty much everything. I think the only way I switch out is if they lead Basculegion. If they lead Ursaring, like Tusk, Zapdos, Latias, I think we're all fine, honestly. Gulabaldi actually is the Basculegion. I think I kind of just want to go Aloe here. I want to see if this thing is Scarf or AV, and based on the decision they make, I think I could figure that out. So I think I just want to go right into Aloe here. I would like to get my Terra Electric up so that I can switch into Zapdos, but I don't think it's the end of the world. My thought right now is that they don't have Superior, and so Rotom Fan can kind of be flexible this game. I can use it as a switch into Zapdos, because I don't necessarily need it for... because there's no Serp, right? Rotom Fan was designed to switch into that thing. Since they didn't bring Serp, I think we're okay. Because I think this thing is either Scarf or AV, and depending on what they do here, I should be able to figure it out. My fear is that I just don't want to take too much chip on Wake. And if they are Scarf and just go for like Outrage, even if we Terra, I'm just not going to like that damage. And I don't want to like Terra on a read, like, because if I Terra Electric, like if they think I'm going to go for a Terra Electric Terra Blast and they just Wave Crash, then I'm in trouble. We're going to switch out. So they're either not Scarf or they're Scarfing and probably just like Flip Turning, I'm guessing. They do Flip Turn, okay. So I think they're probably Scarf. That's not banded damage, I don't think. 56. I'm just going to confirm real quick. Yeah, that's not banded damage. In fact, it might not even be full attack based on what I'm seeing. So I think, or maybe they're Jolly, which if they are, that's probably even more reason they'd be Scarf. I guess they could be AV, but I think they're probably just Scarf. Yeah, we'll see. And then go into Zap. Do I click Mirror Coat here or switch? I think I just want to go Rotom here. I'm a little worried this thing could like just be Specs or something. I do live a Specs Volt Switch unless they crit. And I don't really want to risk that because if I think if we lose Aloe here right now, the game is potentially just over. I'll just get my regen on Aloe. I know I'm doubling on both turns here, but I think it's okay. So I'm at 100% on everybody but Rotom here. We'll find out. They do go for Volt. That's a good amount of damage because we are Spadef. So I don't think that's Specs, but that's probably modest. At least like 252 Timid. Man, that is 252 modest. I don't think you do that unless you're Scarf. Am I making bad reads or are you literally double Scarf? I might be trying to assume too much information here, but I kind of think you are Scarf Bask and Scarf Zap. Which I don't love because I don't have a Scarfer right now. So I don't really love that for me. But it does mean that Aloe can pretty effectively just switch into Basculegion because it's not banded. So Aloe needs to probably be MVP this game, to be honest. They go right back into Gulabaldi. Okay. We don't... I'm going to Wisp. I'm going to call your Flip Turn. I don't think we live a Wave Crash, but Rotom is not fully necessary here, and I would like to burn something. The only way this goes poorly is if you flip... I mean, if you Wave Crash, I think we assume you're Scarf. You Flip Turn. Okay, so I got the read right. So as long as we land this Wisp, we're going to get a burn on something. We might be able to even Pain Split back up. So we're definitely behind the 8 ball here on the momentum. I mean, they flip into Volt into Flip. But as long as we land this Wisp, I think we're in a good spot. You could potentially go Tusk here, expecting a Volt Switch. That would be absolutely massive for me. I think the more likely plays you go Zapdos, because I think you're Scarf based on 252 Modest. But I would still take a burn on Zapdos if you go there. And if you make a really hard read and go Ursaring on the burn to get Guts provoked, then you're just... then Amber's just really good at this game. Dude, my neck is killing me. I was like snowblowing all day, like shoveling this morning and then snowblowing after. I wish I could say I threw out my back shoveling, but I literally threw it out this morning when I was like putting on my hoodie. I was literally just like lifting my arms up over my head and I threw it out. It was bad. They're taking their time. All right, it is a Zap. I think this is Scarf Zap. I just really think it is. We do land the Wisp, which is nice. Do we live a Volt Switch? Is what I want to know. Because could we Pain Split here? Rotom really doesn't need to be in this game that much, I don't think. because it can't really safely switch in anymore. My thought is I don't have my Terra on Wake yet. Because I don't have a ground type, I don't think they have a reason not to just click Volt. And based on my calcs, I have like a 50% chance to live a Volt. And so if I do and get a Pain Split up, I am almost in an advantageous position. Please live this, Rotom. Oh, what a beast. What a beast. I'm getting a huge Pain Split on something. They had me in a pretty big loop here, but I have a burn on something, and I'm going to steal a ton of HP. What do you go into here? Rotom is now going to be moderately healthy. Go back into Bast. That's fine. I will take that. We're going to get a ton of HP back here. And now I can safely go right back into Aloe. So that's actually a huge play for me. I think that's kind of game saving because I was in a bad spot. But now I'm in a pretty decent spot. Now I just go right into Aloe. If you double, I think you flip turn. You could flip turn into Zapdos, but I don't think it's the end of the world if you do. So yeah, we'll see. Because if you flip into Zapdos, I think I can go back into my Rotom again. You Wave Crash. Okay, that's fine. We're going to take this well, I think. Yeah, we take that very well. Aloe's such a beast. Now you're down below 50. I'm actually in a really good spot here. So now I just flip on this thing. Now I just flip for free and gain momentum. The only way... Never mind. I don't even want to say that. I don't want to put it out in the universe. We get free momentum here. I'm 99% sure you are locked into Wave Crash, and even if you're not Scarf, like, we just eat this no matter what. They're taking their time thinking, though. I feel like I'm playing... Those first couple turns, I don't know if they were actually good or not, but I feel like I've got myself in a pretty good position, because my Rotom's fairly healthy. Aloe should be full health after this flip. They go... Zap. I didn't say it out loud. Please don't. Are you Scarf? Are you Helmet? You gotta be kidding me. Damn it, dude. I didn't want to put it out in the universe. I didn't want to get that random static from the flip. 30% chance. That really sucks. Aloe being paralyzed really sucks. Because I need Aloe to be so good this game. But I go into Wake now. And now I think I just Terra Electric. So that I can take whatever this thing goes for really well. And now the question is, do I flip or do I Scald? I kind of want to Scald, I think. I don't think you risk going into Lottie on the Draco. I think you go into Basculegion, right? Unless you make a crazy read thinking that I'm going to Terra Blast and go into, like, Tusk. But that would be a ballsy call, and I don't think you do that unless you're Scarf Tusk. I don't think you'd have a reason to. Or Booster Speed. Man, that Para on Aloe really sucks, I'm not going to lie. The very first turn, or the very first attempt. Without that, I think I'm in an incredible spot here. But that could be really annoying. But I think we're at full health, which is nice. And Rotom is healthy. Like, I'm definitely winning the HP war. Basculegion's at 40%. Zapdos is at 65. So I think we're in a decent spot. And they stay in. That's fine. I'm pretty sure you're Scarf, so it makes sense. You're probably just clicking Volt Switch, I imagine. Unless you are just okay with letting this Zapdos go. That is possible, too. So if you Thunderbolt, then you're okay letting go. If you're Volt Switch, then what kind of switch do you make? We'll see. You do go Volt Switch. Okay. So you want to keep the Scarf Zap around, and we do confirm it is Scarf, so my hunch was correct. Because they went first. I have to confirm yet that Basque is Scarf, but just the way they're playing it, I think so, because they Wave Crashed into Aloe and didn't flip. So they're either bluffing it really well, or it is double Scarf. But I like that because that means it's likely not Scarf Latias, which means Weavile outspeeds. Unless you're running triple Scarf, and then I don't know. Young Grizzler. Okay. Oh, please don't burn. I actually don't want to burn here because this thing is Guts. That does nothing. We do get the burn. Is that from Scald? It is. It didn't say anything about Flame Orb. And based on that damage, I think it's Eviolite. So that's actually kind of unlucky because now it's going to do more damage to me. I'm just flipping, though. I don't have a reason not to flip turn into Aloe here, I think. Even if you Trailblaze, even with the Guts boost, Aloe should still take the hit pretty well. The only issue is if I get parried, and we're just not going to get parried. Jahir, I believe in you, and you're not going to get parried, so. But we've got this thing chunked. I think we're in a decent spot. I don't want to see a Trailblaze here. I don't remember if this thing gets knocked. Just goes for player off. Oh, we eat that pretty well. Yeah, that Guts boost is really annoying, though. We take more damage than we would, but at least the burn is adding up, so that's good. Down to 50%-ish. And now I just always flip. If we weren't slower before, which I think we always are, we definitely are with the paralysis. So what do you go into? Do you have a helmet mon to get helmet chip? I think you probably just... I mean, what do you go into? Because we get momentum on anything here. Like, do you just go for more damage to chip down Aloe? You do. You go for EQ. So you don't have Facade, or else you would have went for it, I think. But yeah, that Guts boost damage is actually annoying. I genuinely wish I didn't burn on the Scald. It's actually pretty annoying. Because we'd be basically full health Aloe if we didn't get the burn on the Scald. Or Wake flip turn back into Aloe. Yeah. I will Wake flip turn because if it is Scarf Rotom, they can't catch me on a Volt Switch pivot. Alright, I will flip. I don't think there's a world that this kills, but Aloe should take a hit and be able to flip turn right back out. I really hope that flip turn into flip turn doesn't kill. Or sorry, flip turn with the burn doesn't kill. I really want to get a flip turn off with Aloe. I want to get the momentum. Unless they make the read and pivot out here, but I can go into whoever I want. They do switch. Okay. Who do you pivot into? Lottie? Going to Zap Pippin. So back into your Scarfer. So now Aloe is not healthy enough that I can, especially with Para, like risk like a Mirror Coat or something. So I definitely don't go there. I think I go Rotom here. Or I can go Weavile and bluff the Ice Shard and then just go right back into Wake. I'd kind of like to keep Rotom healthier. Maybe I just do this anyway. I don't think Ice Shard would kill from Weavile from this range anyway, and I think they know that, so I think they would just stay in and click. So now, do I want to Volt Switch? Do I want to Volt Switch here, or do I just want to Raw Switch? That's the question. I kind of want to make a read here. I think they're going to Volt. I think they Volt into something. I kind of want to Wisp. Alright, that was a dumb play. I should have Volt Switched. I don't know why I went for that. I just kind of thought they were going to Volt out. They've just been Volt Switching most of the game. I guess they didn't want to risk a burn. That's fair. Alright, I will go back into Wake. I should have just Volt Switched. Yeah, I definitely should have just Volt Switched. Because now I'm going to take 2 hits on Wake instead of 1. That was really dumb. I shouldn't have made that read. Because it's probably not Scarf Tusk. Oh, it could be Booster Speed. And now they're locked into Thunderbolt. I'm going to Scald. Maybe this was a bad play too. Maybe I should have just sacked Rotom. But I don't know if I need to... I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of kicking myself for that play. I should have just Volted. That was my original plan. And then I kind of just thought they were going to pivot. I don't know why I made that play. Anyway. We get a kill. That's something. So Zapdos is down. Ursaring is really chunked. Basculegion is low. We've got full health Lottie, full health King Gambit, full health Tusk. So 3 full health mons and 2 really chipped ones with 1 down. And they go into Basculegion. So now, do you Wave Crash here? I think I don't risk anything. I haven't confirmed your Scarf, but I'm 99% sure. I think I just go Aloe here. I could see them going like Phantom Force here, predicting the Aloe switch. I don't think it matters. I think I always go Aloe here. Whatever they do, they could just flip turn on me and that's fine. I don't think they want to risk the flip turn because if I stay in on a flip and get a hit off, like that's not good for them. They do go Phantom Force. Okay. Aloe, I need you to come through here. I need you... If we land this flip turn, I think we are in a phenomenal position. Phantom Force should not kill. It does not. It's like 180. That really sucks. That really sucks. We are fully parried. So now we lose a Pokemon, right? Yeah, we lose a Pokemon here. Unless I go Weavile and take a ton of damage. I could go Weavile and take a ton. Like, Adaptability Phantom Force is still going to do so much damage to me, even though I resist it. I take probably 60%. Which means if they get rocks up, like, I only ever switch in 1 more time. And with Tusk, like, I think they could do that. So I gotta sack either Aloe or Rotom. I mean, this thing is paralyzed. I'm just gonna Jet to see if I can get some damage. Okay, we're paralyzed again, so we don't get our damage. Alright. They stay in, so the play probably was go Weavile. But now I lose a Mon guaranteed. I didn't even get my Aqua Jet chip. Not that it would have done more than like 2%, but Man, I want Aloe, but it being paralyzed just means it's setup fodder for like King Gambit, for Tusk. If it wasn't paralyzed, this is a like easy just go Rotom and sack it. But I think Rotom having Will-O-Wisp could be really nice for Tusk. Really nice for King Gambit. It's still got Pain Split. Would be able to Pain Split on like a Lottie switch if I get it in front of Ursaring. Ugh. I don't want to lose Aloe, but this thing being paralyzed, it just sucks. I really needed that flip turn to go off. I don't have a good play. Something just like basically dies to this. And I need all my other mons, I think. I'll flip. I think we die to this. Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know. Maybe that was a mistake. Why do I have to get static paired on the first time? That sucks. I will go Weavile now. And I guess I'll go for... I guess I'll go for a Swords Dance. If for some reason you stay in and take your damage, then... You know, I'll click Knock next turn and be +2 in front of everything and basically probably win the game or close to it. I think your only other switch would be like King Gambit on a knock because I don't think anything else wants to take a knock off. I guess you could sack Ursaring actually, to be fair. That'd be totally fair play. So do you stay in and take your damage with Phantom Force or do you go Gambit? You know what actually would have been a better play is me Brick Breaking here. But I think actually they could just sack Ursaring, to be fair. That's probably the safer play. So I'd say, yeah, they probably go Ursaring, if anything. If they don't stay in, they probably go Ursaring. Because I know they're Scarfed. I don't know that technically. I'm just assuming this. I'm assuming they're Scarfed. They do switch. If this is King Gambit and I could have Brick Breaked. Although it wouldn't have killed. I would have done like 50, 60%, I think. Something like that. Maybe more. 70 maybe. Alright. It is Supreme Overlord. We got SD off. So we'd live a Sucker Punch just fine, but now the question is, like, do I attack? Because now I have to make a read on whether they Terra if I attack. Would they expect me to have Brick Break or Low Kick, right? That's the question. I think they know I'm not going to Poison Jab, so if anything, I think they Terra. But if I Triple Axle and they don't, and they just Iron Head me, I think I lose this game. So Swords Dance was probably not the play. I probably should have just clicked like Knock or made a Cycle Play and Brick Breaked on the switch. I'm going to go Ogre here because this is my King Game answer. And I hope they don't Kowtow Cleave on a read. But I think if anything, they go Iron Head here or Terra Blast. I don't think they go for Kowtow here. So they're going to Terra. I'm really regretting now. I'm thinking about it. Scarf Basculegion. They're just going to Terra Blast. Okay. I really should have kept Aloe around, even with the Para. I think I had to. I'm regretting that now because I don't have a Scarfer. I'm pretty sure that thing's Scarf. That's a lot of damage. Jesus Christ. King Gambit is an animal. Do I Encore them into that? No, because I can't really just like drain through it, right? And Spiky Shield doesn't do anything if they Terra Blast again. It won't take damage. I think I just Horn Leech because I don't think they're going to stay in. If they stay in Kowtow, Cleave, Horn Leech should deal a decent amount of damage and I won't die to the Kowtow. And if they Swords Dance, then I can Encore them. I don't really want a Spiky Shield. I think I just Horn Leech here. They do stay in. Tell me you go for SD. That would be amazing. I would love it if you go for Swords Dance. I don't think they will, but... Yeah, they just go for Iron Head. Interesting. That still does so much. It does more than I healed for. Man, if I had Aloe... Oh, man. I don't like the spot I'm in at all. Me sacking Aloe and the Will-O-Wisp on Rotom, I think, put me behind. I think I want to... They're not going for setup or Sucker, so I can't really, like... I'm just going to Spiky Shield and... Show me Kowtow Cleave and take some damage, I guess. They go for Sucker, so they don't even take contact on that. Interesting. So you probably don't have Kowtow Cleave, right? Can I go for Encore here? I'm gonna try it. They probably switch out. They're a good player. They're probably gonna see this coming and just swap. Yeah. Damn it. Oh, this sucks. They probably go Lottie. Yeah. I'm in a bad spot. I need to make prediction. I don't know. It's tough because I brought this set to beat King Gambit and it's kind of still beating me. I hate that Pokemon. I think I just lose him on again. I can't lose Ogre. I will lose to King Gambit guaranteed if I lose Ogre. I could go Fez here, I guess. I have the Psychic Resist Berry. Maybe they won't go for Psychic Attack with Weavile being up, but I think they probably do. I'm going to go Fez here. Maybe show me a Draco or something. If it's set up Latias, I could be in huge trouble right here. It's just Psyshock. We take the hit. We have the berry. Unless you're Specs, I think we always live 2. Yeah, we should live that. 111. So we should always live another. Problem is, if you just click it again, I think I want the momentum. I think I'll U-turn into Weavile, because you're either Scarf and Weavile is safe, or you just Psyshock again. Are you triple Scarf, or are you just going for this? Wow. Was the first one a low roll? Because that was what... I know I had the berry, but that must have been a high roll. Holy shit. I mean, you're not weakness policy. You're probably Scarf. I think I'd just go Weavile. Actually, could you be Colbur Berry? Owen ran Colbur Berry into me last week on Latios. Is there any chance you're Colbur? And if you are, you live a knock. So I am in an awful spot. I think I just lose this game. I had to keep it. I think I had to keep Aloe. I think I legitimately just lose to Scarf Basket Legion. I'm gonna triple Axel. Yeah, I really don't. I mean, the para sucked, but I don't like how I'm playing this game. I should have saved Aloe even though I was paralyzed and would have just had to play the RNG game later. I just felt like because I got paralyzed 2 times in a row, it's just going to be one of those games where I just get para-locked. I should have sacked Rotom, though, because I don't know if Rotom really helps me, because they still have a Scarf Bask. They have this thing, which could potentially be Scarf. I don't know. We'll see what you go. Young Grizzler. So you sack the Ursaring. Assuming we land these triple axles, you sack it. We land 1, 2. Can we land a 3rd, please? We do. So based off the damage, they're going to know I'm not banded. So I could potentially be Scarf. Like, they don't necessarily know that. The problem, though, is I didn't click Knock. So they can theoretically just go Scarf Basket Legion here, because they know if I'm Scarfed, I'm locked into triple axle. So I think they probably just... Yep. There you go, Bask here. If this thing is Wave Crash, do I legitimately just lose? Probably. I think I'll sack Pheasantipity and see what they lock into. If they flip turn, then I'll get momentum, I guess. I mean, regardless, I'll get choice of who I go into, but... They do Wave Crash. I think I literally lose right here to this. Ah, damn, dude. This is brutal. Yeah, I mean, like... This is either the best bluff ever or their Scarf Basket Legion. I just don't think there's a world they're not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have a play. I think I just lose. I'm not trying to be down. I'm not like, I legitimately don't think I have a play. Looking back in hindsight, I should have realized it earlier. I think I lost this game the moment Aloe died. And because of that, I think ironically I lost the game the moment I flip turned into the static. How the hell do I win this? How do I win this? I guess I'll go here, and if you've been bluffing Scarf, then I'm fine. But I think you're Scarf. I don't think you're bluffing. But we'll find out here right here, I guess. Yeah, I mean, because you switch out if you're not, right? Like, I just clicked Draco. I wish I didn't Swords Dance earlier in the game, because then I could have maybe bluffed Weavile Scarf. I mean, I just have to Draco. This is the only move that would kill. I just have to hope. No, they're Scarfed. Yeah, and this definitely kills. Adaptability is a silly ability. Basically gives them double stab, so... I mean, this is hitting as hard as a Terra Pokemon would normally, or a Choice Band Pokemon, so... And they are not taking enough recoil, so this claims at least 1 more mon, if not 2, before it would die to recoil. And I just don't think I have the tools in the back. I will try and Spiky Shield. I guess this is what I should have done last turn. I didn't really think about it. But I'm gonna guess, because they're a good player, they just swap. But this is my only play to make. Like, I have to hope they screw up and attack and take damage. Because if they make contact, they'll take damage, but I think Amber's too good. They're going to read this and just make a play. Yeah. The problem is I don't have setup Ogre, so it's not like I could have taken advantage of this. Yeah, they go Lottie, like, they know I don't have a way to hurt it. They've seen my entire set, so they know I can't threaten this Latias. Damn. This is not how I want to finish the season. I will go... The only, like, 1% chance win con I have is Weavile winning somehow by getting a Swords Dance up, but that means Basculegion has to die first. And I just don't know how I'm going to do that. The Scarf Basculegion is still alive. Go for Spiky Shield, because I just want to see what they're going to do. I don't know. Their Healing Wish. This probably was Scarf Latias. So yeah, now the Healing Wish into Basculegion and the game's over. Damn. That sucks. GG's to Amber. Well played. I think that's triple choice Scarf. That was not something I predicted. I did not predict triple choice Scarf. I didn't play well enough. The Paron Aloe really hurt, but I shouldn't have sacked it. I should have let Rotom go. Yeah, I don't know. Wave Crash, I think, just OHKOs every single Pokemon. Because the damage is silly. So I'll Spiky Shield, I guess. Yeah, we don't get it twice in a row. That's fine. GG to Amber. Well played. I'm really sorry to everybody watching. This is not how I wanted to end the season, unfortunately. I don't think it was like playoff jitters or anything, because I feel like I've been in playoffs since week 5. I just didn't prep well enough. I didn't play well enough, and I think RNG's against me here too. So 0 for 3 on that. Outplayed, outprepped, and out RNG'd. Yeah. What are you gonna do? So I guess if some crazy world that my calcs are off, I live a Wave Crash, maybe I could win. But I'm pretty sure there's no world that happens. Yep, Wave Crash is just going to one-hit KO. It's not even super effective. Doesn't matter. Just a Choice Scarf Pokemon. Just OHKOing. So, yeah. And I'll go Rotom and I'm going to die. Damn. That's tough. GG's. GG's. I'm trying not to get too down on myself here. I'm just going to Volt. I had a cool turnaround this season, but man, I was really hoping to win it all. Honestly, I feel like we had a team that I was really comfortable with, and I feel like I've been playing really well. This week just threw me off. Triple choice Scarf. Did not see that coming. I'll probably do something after the battle, some sort of little like KDA thing or something like that, so you guys can look forward to that. Once I gotta probably go take a walk and gather my thoughts, but I'll do that here shortly. All right, guys, I'm not gonna lie. That game sucked. It sucks to lose. It sucks to lose that way. Honestly, Amber / Gravy, they are a phenomenal player, so shout out to them. They prepped really well. They went just super hyper offense against me, and it really worked. Honestly, I don't really have anything to say. I don't know. I think the team I brought, if Aloe never got paralyzed, I think I had some answers for some of the stuff they brought, but I still don't think my prep was good enough. Again, if Aloe doesn't get parried, it is a different looking game, because instead of being a spot of whether or not I need to sacrifice Aloe gets the flip turnout and is at like 80% HP. And then I can literally just go into like Weavile and just like click knockoff or whatever, and we're chilling. But that's the game, you know. I got staticked on the first turn. I got fully parried when I really needed it. And like I've said this before, I've won games where I got fortunate, and like vice versa. If your whole game plan falls apart because of one piece of RNG that didn't go your way, then I think you probably didn't prep well enough. And so for me, I think that's the thing, right? So like I could sit here and whine about the RNG, but ultimately, like, I should have played better. I should have made some better prep decisions that I had more answers than just this one thing going wrong, right? Because I knew static was a chance of happening. I mean, I ran protective pads on Weavile to avoid that exact situation. Obviously, I didn't run it on Aloe because I felt like I needed the Assault Vest. Ironically, this week, I probably didn't need the Assault Vest. It was like Psyshock a lot on Latias, and I was mostly having to switch into physical Mons. They have a really strong special attacking team with Zapdos, with Superior, with the Latias. There's a fourth one that I'm missing that they're all really fast, but they only brought 2 special attackers. So this week, if I would have been like Rocky Helmet, or especially if I would have been Protective Pads with Wish, I think I would have been in a really good spot this game. So maybe that was just a bad call on my part, but regardless, it is what it is. So I'm disappointed with how the season ended. That being said, I'm pretty proud of my run. I'm not going to lie. It sucks to lose in the first round of playoffs, but I said this before, playoffs for me kind of started in week 5. I was so down on myself after the first 4 weeks. You know, I took a break from Pokemon Draft League. I came back. I feel like kind of rusty. And after 4 weeks, I won one game. And I had said before that I felt like if I got one, I could go on a run. And I did. I set my own personal record for most wins in a row with 5 in a row. So that was a pretty cool moment. And I really liked this team. Honestly, the biggest bummer for me is that I don't get to keep playing with this team because it just felt so comfy. And I think a lot of you guys watching probably know and probably saw, like, this team started to get really comfortable for me. I really liked how it played, like all the pieces, you know, working together and stuff like that. So it sucks not to be able to use it again, but I'll be honest, it does let me know for future seasons if I do any sort of more drafts for Scarlet and Violet, or at least drafts with these Pokemon available. Some of these pieces you can bet I will be drafting again because I really enjoyed some of those pieces. But let's talk about those pieces. Enough downer, stuff. Let's just get into this. So first of all, I've got all 12 of my Pokemon down at the bottom. And where you can see with Weavile 5 and 5, that's win-loss. So that's the games they came to, wins versus losses. And then I've got the kills and deaths, respectively, too. So the MVP of this season, based off of kill-death ratio, is Weavile. But I'll be real, Weavile was really good at doing the one thing that it was meant to come in and do. Basically, whenever I brought it with heavy-duty boots, it never took damage. I just used my defensive pivots to bring it in effectively and was able to click knockoff or ice shard and claim KOs when I needed it to. It worked really well in that role, and starting at week 5, it really started to function how I wanted it to. Like, part of the core that I drafted this season was Pheasantipity, Aloe, and Weavile, and I was really hoping that those 3 mons, with Ogerpon as well, would work well together because they all, other than Weavile, have momentum moves, but can kind of facilitate for each other, getting each other in, chipping things down, and eventually bringing in my Weavile to come click a big-ass knockoff and take a kill. So I think that did work well. Yeah, in terms of the kills, Walking Wake did make a push late in the season, was like 3 and 4, I think, through most of the season. Last 2 weeks. This last game technically got 2 kills because Healing Wish happened in front of it. Or no, I think that happened in front of Ogerpon. But either way, I think Walking Wake got 2 kills this week, which is cool. I got 3 kills the week before. Terra Hoopa, though, I don't know if it was the MVP, but it was certainly like the game changer. Like, it was the thing that turned my season around. Once I added Terra Hoopa to the team, my season changed drastically. I went from 0-4 to 4-4. I know I didn't bring it the last 2 weeks, but Terra Walking Wake, I don't think that was the reason I lost, was like Terra Wake. And this week, Terra Hoopa, I just didn't really feel like looked good. Like, I wanted to bring it because it's been so good. But yeah, it was a monster. 7 kills, 3 deaths. I don't even think that explains how good it was. I think it was even better than that. Aloe, 4 kills, 4 deaths is so funny because the fact that it got 4 kills and only died 4 times, this thing took like 8 billion damage over the season and only died 4 times. I mean, this thing was probably the MVP, or at least close to it. Pheasantipity was phenomenal. I feel like I got Toxic Chain procced like all the time. So as much as Static sucked this week, I got plenty of my own 30% shenanigans throughout the season. 3 and 4 win-loss, I don't think tells the story. It was very, very good. Ogerpon kill death 4 and 6 is not great, but 4 wins, 2 losses, that does tell part of the story. That Pokemon definitely helped turn my season around. Just really reliable. Big ass cudgels, knockoffs, spikes. It did a lot of work. But yeah, in the bottom row here, I mean, the least valuable player, and when I say least valuable player, I mean based on value, is Great Tusk. The most expensive Pokemon that can be in this league is 20 points. That was how much Great Tusk was. It was my first pick, and it's pretty unanimous among Draft League players that Great Tusk is a top 2 or 3 Pokemon in the format. It only showed up to 3 games, and it only touched the field twice. Both of the times that it touched the field were losses. They were my first 2 weeks of the season, I think. And then I brought it against Helios, but it never actually saw the field. And I didn't bring it other weeks. And honestly, it was just one of those things that maybe it's just the way that I like to play the game, and maybe it didn't feel like it meshed with the team. But I feel like every week it was a rough matchup. I felt like it was always facing 2 or 3 Pokemon that were not only faster than it, but threatened it with special super effective damage. And this thing is really good versus physical attacks, but it doesn't have a great SpDef stat. And I felt like every week I faced teams other than one. The week that it didn't see the field, it didn't have a good offensive matchup. I know this Pokemon's really good, but maybe it was just me or maybe the matchups. I just didn't feel great about it. I mean, Fortress came to 2 of the games, so like my other spinner, it did just as well. Dragonite, I felt like has so much potential, and it's a Pokemon I love. I didn't get to showcase it a whole lot this season. And those bottom three, Rotom, Spidops, Vulpix, I knew were all going to be situational Pokemon. So they all only came to one game. Unfortunately, didn't get a win with any of them, but, that's the way it goes. I think those top 6 Pokemon were really the carries of the season. Fortress definitely had its moment against OG Albino, was really nice. It got a cool kill versus Helios. But other than that, I think it's those top 6. Those top 6 were really the Pokemon that just showed up and showed out throughout the season. So yeah, I think that's how it goes. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me throughout the season. Just so you guys know, I do plan on releasing videos very, very soon. I was waiting for this league to basically be over. I started a league, and I've been recording battles for that league. I just haven't posted them yet. I didn't want to have 2 going all at the same time. So I will be posting videos on that shortly, so you guys can look forward to those coming out soon. Again, I'm sorry to anybody who's watching and was hoping for me to pull out the perfect 9-4 reverse sweep. I wanted it too, but it just wasn't in the cards. Unfortunately, Amber's going to go 3-0 against me, and it is what it is. But honestly, I gained so much more confidence as a player this season. Again, starting so bad and then winning 5 in a row. Not only just winning 5 in a row, but 2 of those wins were against 6-foot Hacks and OG Albina, 2 players who I've watched play for a while, who are both phenomenal players. And like I've watched for years play this game, just dominate people. So the fact that not only did I get to beat him, I actually beat him pretty convincingly 5-0 is like pretty awesome. So that's just kind of like a pretty cool moment for me personally. So yeah, I don't know. It was a great time. If I get invited to PPL eventually in a new season, I would love to participate again, and hopefully we can bring home the chip in that season, but I don't know when that'll be. But again, thank you guys so much as always. I hope you all have a wonderful day.